Hello there, rawandwell friends. So, I had a couple of epiphanies and I wanted to share with you and update you on detoxification and how I'm doing on my third day of a fruity day. So, what does that mean? I've been just eating fruit. That's it. So I start the day with my lemon water and I do the challenge with my raw friends that have taken the challenge. And on day one, I decided that I was gonna do full fruit and start my detoxing process here in this household. Including the dogs. So we all go through a bi-yearly full clean out. We do parasites, we do liver flushes. Well, not the dogs for the liver flush, but they do follow also a protocol that we do with them for their parasites and all of that, especially after the summer where there's mosquito bites and stuff, and they could get heartworm from parasites, and so could we. So anyway, I was feeling so good and I got so much done. First of all, today was menu day for my clients, and usually that's like a 2-day process. I have to prepare myself and then sit down and really feel what the needs of the client are and what stage they're up to, and work with that and do their menus accordingly and keep coaching them as they go along and however long it takes them. Some clients never get to the point where I'm at, where they're well enough and are able to follow a raw vegan diet at the very least for the first few weeks of the detox, and move all into just fruit and then just juice, etc. to do the complete thing, which takes up to 6 to 8 weeks, my process. So all of you that are already in the raw world, you've probably been through some kind of detox thing. I know I have friends like Kuka. She just did grapes for 30 days, following Dr. Morse's protocol. So basically, for those of you who don't know who Dr. Morse is, he does iridology. So he diagnoses through the eyes, and then he recommends eating fruit for life, and he heals through fruit, high fruit diet, etc. So definitely look him up. And then I have other friends like Tina Joe. She's doing her own thing, and so we all have our different methods. Steve Factor, he's another raw friend that I follow, and he's got his methods, which are through Dr. Morse as well. So basically, through the years of being raw, which is 7 years, it's going on 8 years, not fully raw. Sometimes in the winter I'm about 80% raw. And why we do these cleanses, because even just eating fruit, you get parasites, so you need to clean out every once in a while and kind of fast and do intermittent fasting or things like that, so you kind of shock your system and get rid of all these toxins. I mean, just breathing the air, you're getting toxins in, and so everything has parasites. And if you have dogs like we do, they kiss us and things get transferred. They eat meat, we don't, but we have to handle meat. So it's all very complicated living in this lifestyle and not living in paradise, let's say, right? So if living in paradise, that's the best thing, because you're in nature, and the only things available in nature are fruit trees and things like that, and you get to breathe that fresh air from all these trees around you, and the rainforests and the beaches, etc. That's the best way to live, of course, but it's not realistic for most of us. Unfortunately, we've become so commercialized and so addicted to these processed foods and things like that, that we kind of lose track of where we are and where we're supposed to be, because we're after money and cars and material things, and in order to survive you have to pay bills, so you have to work, and the stress and all of those things contribute to the way we feel and our health, what we're putting in and what we're breathing in. So yeah, paradise is the best way to live, but it's not realistic. So we have to do these things to stay away from the medical world, because once you get there, then you're stuck there, because they tell you one thing, and it's very hard when they tell you, when they pressure you that you should, you just got diagnosed and tomorrow you have an appointment at Sloan Kettering and you're going to start chemotherapy and we're going to cut parts out of you, and you don't even have time to think and to analyze and to do research and find out if this is the best route for you. Those are things that I try to avoid by sharing with you and by doing these things with my clients, to get them to a better, healthier way of living under the circumstances that we live in, and according to their lifestyle and what they're capable of doing and incorporating into their lifestyle. Not everybody could just say, I'm going raw, and overnight, boom, they go raw and everything goes well. Well, that doesn't happen very often. A lot of us fail, and it takes a few times of getting back up and getting on track and doing it over again, and not criticizing ourselves for having the know-how and to fail miserably sometimes. Like, I went through it. We did great, and I did up to 10 liver flushes until no stones came out. I was rigorous. Every 6 weeks we did 72 days of juice. It was really all the ups and downs you go through. You need to be ready. So I only take on clients that want to do detoxes and cleanses with me that are not on any medications. So I will not detox anybody that's on medication. And I give them a few choices of what routes they could go to get there, but it's going to take a long time. You can't just do it overnight. Unfortunately, the clients that I do end up getting are already at the point that they're sick. And now they have to make this choice, and they have to do it now. And if they're on medication and they want to detox, then I can't help. What I then say is maybe you should see a naturopath and find out what your options are, or I can guide you through what your options are, what method, what protocol you want to follow. There's so many out there. It's not just Dr. Morse. There's the Gerson therapy, and some people could do better with that because there's still some cooked foods in that. Or Dr. Clement, I've gone to several of his talks, and he's amazing. But each method is different. But it all boils down to the same thing. We need to give up processed foods, number one. Number two, dairy. And number three, animal products. That's out of the question. That just cannot happen in any of these natural healing. There's no other way but to give up animal products. So to get to that point alone is not easy, because like I said, there's so many different methods, so there's so many different opinions out there. For example, I use a variety of methods from all my learnings. I know a lot of Ayurvedic methods. I know a lot about Dr. Clement, and I'm learning a lot about Dr. Morse. And the reason why I always started with fruit, and then followed with greens, but now I've changed in the past couple of years, and I eat more fruit instead of just juicing it. So I prepare my body first with lots of fiber, fruit fiber, and high water content, and being mindful to drink water. I'm so bad with that until I feel thirsty, and then it's too late. You're already dehydrated, so all these toxins that you're pushing out, you're not really pushing out because you're not flushing the system. You're not hydrating. You're not putting enough water in to actually flush your system, and that's what you want to do. You want to flush your system of all these toxins. So that's what brought me here today, to tell you a little bit about what I do and how many different methods there are out there. So I won't go too much into that, but like I said, I will advise my clients and guide them with links to these different methods, and they choose one and they get a protocol from that specific method, and this is for any reversal of disease, etc., when they want to go the natural way. And what I do is help them with that protocol, because they've only now learned to live this way. So to live this way is a complete lifestyle change, and as you go through the process, there's this enlightenment, and you learn to be mindful, and you learn to appreciate nature and appreciate animals and respect nature and animals. So a lot of things come along with that. You're not going to do a detox and have a toxic home. You need to have a clean home. You need to have things in place and in order in your mind, because this is going to clear your mind and help you get to the next step as well. And this is another reason why I said I'm going to do, all fruit for at least a week, and I'm going to try to do the 2 week and start incorporating the other things to push along my detoxing process. But basically, the little things that got me started was one of my friends is doing also a 30-day fruit only. So he's also kind of following Dr. Morse and his methods, not to a T. He's doing his own thing, but so he's doing a detox, and I commented on something, and Diametrous Earth came up, and that got me thinking while I was in the shower. But so anyway, and that's why I'm here, but then I didn't write anything down. I didn't want to lose any of my thoughts that came up in the shower. But one of the reasons why I'm detoxing is there's a lot of stuff going on right now in my life, and I need to move forward and get that in order. So I need that clarity. whew, it's kind of heavy. And along with detoxing comes emotions, and you end up getting teary-eyed, and you think a lot and things like that, because when you detox, it starts from the top of the head, so the follicles, your hair follicles. So it's important that at this time, like I do, we do water kefir for probiotics, homemade fermented water kefir for probiotics. So anything that we don't drink, or it over ferments because I forgot and I left it out for too long, whatever, I take in the shower with me, and I put it in my hair, and I let it run down my face, etc. So it pulls all these oils out, and it kind of regenerates your scalp if you rub it, and then you wash your hair and do your thing. So that's one thing I did, and that's what got me thinking today, because when you're detoxing, like I said, it comes through your pores, your glands. So I make sure I don't wear any deodorant while I'm detoxing. I try to take lots of salt, either sea salt, organic sea salt baths, or Epsom salt, organic Epsom salt baths, and we start with the enemas and all of those things to detox. So I use a number of methods, not just one. I don't just follow one specifically for myself. But like I said, if a client comes to me, I can advise them, and then give them options, and then help them accomplish the protocol that they choose. So that's pretty much what I do. Or I try to, I'm a specialist in transitioning people into the raw world, or at least to incorporate more raw vegetables, with like starting with the lemon water in the morning, and then eating fruit for as long as you can, and then bringing in the slower things that take longer, maybe a smoothie, get them into smoothies, and have them do some smoothies, and then have a green salad for dinner with some nuts and some avocado, some natural fats in there, and start the detoxing process much slower. Because you don't know what's going on in there. How many antibiotics have you been on in your lifetime, and this is your first time going raw and detoxing from eating animal products and dairy and processed things. So all these toxins are going to be running, starting from your scalp and moving down, opening up your third eye, so you get more clear-headed. And today I was feeling that kind of energy without coffee. Like I said, I started my day with the live with you, and then I started cleaning and doing laundry. And when I got to the bathroom, I said, I need to clean this bathroom. So I cleaned the bathroom top to bottom. So I try to clean the bathroom more often as well when I'm detoxing, because you don't want to be reintroducing. You're getting rid of toxins, and you're eating all this fruit and brooming your system all out and getting all this toxicity out of your body, and you're trying to get it out. But if you're in a dirty environment and you don't do the right things, it's not gonna happen for you, and you're gonna give up real fast, because you don't know the symptoms. You don't know the things that come along with detoxing. For example, my second day, I was super nasally, my eyes were burning, and then I was listening to Steve Factor's live, and he mentioned about his eyes detoxing, and I said, my eyes detox all the time, but everybody's different. And you get the headaches because stop the caffeine, or you get the headaches because things are going through and moving along and going down slowly as you reach through, and your lymphatic system and all of that is getting cleared out by doing these fasts and these detoxes. But for your first time, if you've been on all these meds and all these things, you have to take things slow, and it's going to take a long time to get to the point where you're at, where I'm at 7 years later, where I could do this twice yearly, and I could eat some cooked foods here and there and not be affected because I'm not, I'm not constantly doing that. My primary concern is to stay raw as much as possible, even in those tough winter months. Stay raw as much as possible. I force myself, and I start juicing because there's not enough fruit to eat. All we have is apples and bananas and pears. That's not enough. So you need to drink a lot when you're detoxing. Lots of water, lots of fluids, lots of coconut water. Make sure you get the right kind, and it's the raw Thai coconut water, and you're not, again, putting more chemicals and sugars into your body. So all of these things are things that my clients get the 100%, because of course I have to make a living. So I bring these things along with me, and I change their soaps, and I change all their condiments and all these things, and move them towards, replacing everything at least organic, and minimize all their junk food, and try to introduce them to raw treats, like brownies and puddings and things like that are healthy, that can replace those sugary processed things that we eat throughout the year. So all those things build up in your liver and your kidneys and your organs. So even being healthy, like I said, you're breathing dirty air all the time, and your dogs, and you're handling animals and things like that. So anyway, that's what brought me here, because I was feeling so good that I got so much accomplished. So today was menu day, and I got my menu done in like 2 hours. Boom, menu done. Crossed off my list. Unbelievable. Full of energy. Still have a little bit to finish in my bathroom, but it was like all fogged up. It's been real sticky and humid these past couple of days here in New York, and past 2 days it's been rainy and super humid, but still like warm. So it's like this humidity. Everything that you touch in the house feels wet, because we have the windows open, and if you close the windows, I don't want to put AC on in the middle of October and breathe in this toxicity. We didn't do it all summer pretty much. But this humidity just like kills everything. So I wanted, like, all my mirrors were fogged up, so that's what I still have to do, my mirrors, and that takes a lot. So at the same time, I'm not being stagnant. Instead of spending, since I'm more clear and I was able to pump out my menus, I could get some exercise in there, because I'm not going to get to go for a walk because it's raining. So all of these things are part of cleansing and developing and being a better person each day while you cleanse, and feeling everything and all the symptoms. Embrace the symptoms. Don't feel like you have, your symptoms should be hidden, or it's something bad. Most of these symptoms are normal, but if you don't know what to look for, and you don't know how to listen to your mind and to your body, and these are things that have come along in my 7 years of practice, and helping clients through this process and the things I learn along the way and how this one is different from that one, and comes with that mindset. For example, somebody with IBS, they come with this mindset that there's certain things they can't have, blah, blah, blah. And everybody with IBS has been different from me, and they end up being able to tolerate certain things if you do the elimination diet and you take everything away and just add the things that are good and rebuild their digestive system with fruits and more vegetables and the right vegetables for the specific person. And I do an intensive food questionnaire, so it's also has to do with your likes and dislikes. You can't do a vegan diet if you only like 5 vegetables. So when I look at your food questionnaire and I see you only like 5 vegetables, my brain is already going, uh-oh, this is not going to go so far, because incorporating more vegetables into this person is going to take a lot of work. And sometimes it could be through juicing, because it takes 15 times of you having the same thing to actually develop a palate to it. So if you think you don't like beets, but I sneak them into your juices, then, and you like it, then if after having it 15 times, you could actually tolerate beets. So it's a long process, and these are things that I end up doing with my clients. Some people think they could get online and, you know, follow all these raw people, and one says one thing and one says the other, and one works this way and one works the other way. Well, not everybody's for everybody, and that's part of me. I don't just take any clients in. I have to go through the process of having that one-on-one conversation with them and see if we're a good fit, and to see if I'm capable of helping you according to what your requirements are and what your restrictions are, and I try to work with that and see if we're compatible. So there's a lot to this. There's a lot to this. And before I became raw, I studied it for 2 years. I wasn't practicing it yet. I was on my way, but I was learning for 2 years before I did my first flush and my first liver flush and my first juice fast, and how I said I need to practice what I preach, and I need to be able to talk about this and know what these symptoms are, and that it's okay to be nasally one day. Like, that's clearing up pretty much. I'm already at my mouth stage where today my teeth are hurting a little bit. Yesterday I had a headache and I was foggy. Today, like I said, boom, I did my lemon water and I ate my cherimoya, which I have to tell everybody it was kind of underwhelming. Wasn't so good, but we know all the benefits, and we're not going to throw out $5 a piece. So we ate through it, but they weren't the best that we ever had. I'm wondering if we caught the end of the season or just the beginning of the season, because they were kind of small and they usually don't turn that deep brown, and the skin isn't so hard. Like, the skin was was still hard, and it had like a brown rim to it. So they weren't the best we've had, but that's the thing with cherimoyas. You never know what you're going to get here in New York. You know, if you're lucky and you're in California and you could get them when they're in season, then you're in for a treat, because you could get them everywhere. But here in New York, like I said, they have to be transported from these faraway places. So unfortunately, we got a bad batch. But they weren't so bad. We've had batches that we had to throw out $5 a piece or $8.99 a pound, and when they're big, they're almost a pound. So you're paying $8.99 for one cherimoya. So, but I usually, if I find them, I buy the store out. And they already know me at Whole Foods. I buy the store out because I give some to my clients and we eat most of it. And, you know, like, for example, I know B, she's here. Hi, B. She never had it, and she's local, so I told her, when I see them again, I'll get you some, or I'll give you the heads up. So, and I do that with certain things, because her little one loves fruit, just like her mommy. So for her, this fruit challenge was like, I'm in, and I want to do this for most of the day. So like I said, everybody's different. Other people have been embracing being vegan, but they want to eat more raw and less processed, because there's all kinds of vegans too. There's those that eat tofu and rice and flours and breads and processed burgers. That's all good and dandy for transition, but that's following a compassionate, being a vegan, and you're compassionate for animals, but you're not being mindful what's going in. You're just replacing your sad diet or your standard American diet with vegan. So as long as it says vegan on it, it's like, as long as it says gluten-free, then that means I'm just gonna substitute everything to gluten-free, or I'm going to substitute all to low fat, because that's what the doctor said, low fat, low sugar, so I'm going to get everything low fat, low sugar. Well, a shitstorm comes with that, let me tell you, because with that comes all the extra additives to compensate for these things that take out. They take out the fat from the milk, but now it has no nutrients. It's full of antibiotics from the cows. I could go on for days. That's not what I'm here for. To vent about these things, I have a separate page. And I do that there. And I talk about GMOs. And I talk about my point of view on vaccines with proof and things you could watch. But I'm not going to ram it down your throat. If you want this information, you go there, and you want to have a conversation with me, and you have questions, and I answer the questions. But for me, it's really a way of sharing. I stopped sharing those things on my page, and I've lost friends because when I first started out and started learning about these things, before I was even raw, I knew about, and I read Michael Pollan, and I read The End of Food, and all of these things. So this is all a process. It takes a long time. You're not going to be detoxing and using toxic products to clean your home with, or to throw down the drain. Those things are damaging the earth. Things like bleach and soap and shampoo and antiperspirants and all of these things that we do daily so mindlessly because it's there, it's on the market, and nobody's telling us that they're not good for us and they're not good for the environment. And Mother Nature is speaking loudly this year. I never in my life, or as long as I've lived in this country, have I seen every year it's worse and worse. The storms are stronger, the fires are more fierce, the seasons are colliding into each other. We no longer have 4 seasons here in New York. It's really 2 seasons. It goes from 80 to 0 and from 0 to 100. This is what's been happening. So our environment is confused. Our bees, our birds, they don't know to go, and then overnight it gets cold. These birds should have been on their way already, but the weather conditions are confusing them. The same thing with bees. We still have bees and mosquitoes in October. Usually things have cooled down and there's a nice breeze and it's dry, and the leaves are falling down. The leaves are perfectly green. There's no leaves falling down. I haven't seen any of that action happening yet, and we're in mid-October. second week of October. So this is what we're doing to our earth with all the plastic and the aluminum foil and more plastic going into the sea and killing our animals. So these are all things that I've been learning for 20 years now, when the blinders came off and I started learning about these things, and I started learning to go to the farmers market and buy straight from these farmers and to support that community and go to marches against Monsanto. Yes, I've done all those things. I'm past that point of educating people and you know, pushing it and ramming it down their throat. I've done that already. I've been there. I've done that. I've moved past that, and I don't want to deal with that part of the world that's still so blind, and that you have to every day remind them of these things, and they're still doing the same thing. Like, they look at you like you have 10 heads. So I can't handle that stress. Everything weighs very heavy on me. I'm a healer. I want to see people well and happy and vibrant and full of love and happiness. And the world is so cruel. We don't need any more stress in our life. So basically, especially when I'm cleansing, I stay away from toxic people. And sometimes I'm one of those people, because I complain about these things, that people are so blind, but it's not, I can't change people's minds. And this is what I've learned in the past. I think when I turned 50, so like a little bit before that, I started realizing these things and saying, I can't be doing this every day and trying to jam this down somebody's throat. I could show you certain things, but until you're ready, it's like any food and the way we live according to society and all these norms and all these things that we follow that I hate. Any kind of, you know, this one's a vegan and that one's a vegetarian because they eat eggs, they're veganitarian and mushkinitarian, and who cares about all that? Who cares what you are? You are who you are, and you can't be anybody else unless you accomplish it. Nobody else could make you be who you are. You are who you are, and I'm at that point. And I remember Oprah talking about this when she turned 50. It was like she took a fuck it all pill. Excuse my French, but she said, I can't let these things weigh on me anymore. If you don't want to believe, and this is your route, this is the way you chose to live. You want to go the medical route, the white coats and what they tell you and the media and what you've been fed your whole life, that you need this and you need that and you need animal protein for protein, and you need dairy for calcium. Well, there's no calcium in dairy. Duh. Calcium is produced by your body. Your body produces it. And if you work out and you move, you build muscle, and your body has no other choice but to produce calcium to carry the muscle. Simple. It's common sense. But people would rather have a magic pill, and they go to the doctor with the symptom, and the doctor says, I got just the pill for you. And then that pill has side effects that causes you to take another pill or change this pill to the other pill, and you're just holding on to dear life, going down a big hole, and you just keep crumbling in it and getting worse and feeling more fogged and believing more of what they say. You know, you can cure diabetes in 30 days. You can reverse that. Even people that have type 1, which is they reduce the amount of insulin they have to take per day. So yes, you could reverse all these things, but it's not a magic pill. There is no magic pill. They got the wool over your eyes, making you think that these pills that you're taking daily are doing anything, when they're not addressing where it all came from. Why are we developing this, and this? They don't teach that in medical school. They don't teach nutrition. They don't teach what you should feed your body with. So these things all are constantly on my mind and always weighing some kind of heavy, but as the time goes by, I know that I could only help those that truly want the help and are ready to go there and hit the road running. And when I don't see results, then I feel like I failed. But I've also learned to let go and come to an understanding that I can't help everybody. I can't help the world. The world has created itself all by itself without me in it for many years before, and I'm sure for many years after I'm gone, the world will be here. But I gotta live in it today, so I'm gonna live it my way, not in a box, or not under an umbrella. I'm not a vegan. I'm not a raw vegan. I'm Vanda. Hi, I'm Vanda. Get to know me. Give me a chance. That's all we as humans ask for from other people. And we don't have to agree on everything together to cohabit this world that we live in, this beautiful planet that we live on, that we so often disrespect. And I know I was one of those people. I used to throw papers out the window. I used to, litter and do things growing up, because this is what we did as kids, and we've all done. But as long as we're willing to change our ways, there's a way, and we could be better each day. And that's all I hope for, that each day I learn something from somebody else, and I get inspired to do a talk and tell you about me and how I'm feeling on my third day of my cleanse, and how much more clearer I feel just by eating hydrating fruits. And when I get off with you, I'm ready for my fruit salad. So, and I've had an apple and I've had a banana, and I'm feeling full of energy, and I still got more to do, but I figured I'd come in and give you an update on how I was feeling. And so please make sure you follow my live videos, because stuff happens and I end up just popping up. So if you follow it, then you'll get an alert that I'm actually on. Drop me comments, drop me some questions. I'm always happy to answer them. I might, like I said the other day, if I find them worthy enough that I think I should be sharing with other people, I'll wait until my next live to address those questions, or I'll just answer them right there and then on the thread itself. So definitely leave me a question if you have. Share with your friends if this is something you think that your friends should listen to. Feel free to share. I think that's about it. I just wanted to give you an update and tell you how good I'm feeling, but I see some little pimples popping up, so I think I'm about here right now with my detox. So I'm clear for now. We'll see what happens after that. And you get moody and things change because all these toxins are going through you. So I'm not always at my best when I'm detoxing. But today I'm feeling good. It's day 3, and usually day 3 is normally like that for me. And when I see little pimples like this popping up, but then I see my eyes are clearing up and the green is brighter because I'm putting energy and light into my body constantly all day with all this fruit that gets all the sun rays from it. So for now I'm good. And things are going good. I hope you're enjoying your fruit challenge, the ones that are with me now or that will be listening to this later. I hope you're doing good with the combination of your lemon water first thing in the morning, and then the second step, eating a high water content fruit for breakfast. And if you can, continue with fruit as long as you can until you have whatever else you put in. Once you put something else in, fruit stops. Don't forget. So I think that's it. Bye for now. Thanks for having me. I'll see you soon.